Does anyone have a question? I have a few announcements to make. Talking about it earlier today in the meditation this afternoon. Upcoming is next months are really going to be very intense with retreats and kinds of situations going on. I mean, there's a retreat in about a week and a half, 2 weeks coming up. If anyone else is interested in coming, there's still some spaces available. I think there's 2 spaces available in the retreat. So if you want to come, you'd be welcome. You can get in touch with Jennifer. She can tell you. And then there's another one in June, and I think there's 7 people that have already signed up for it. And then in July, something really incredible happened, and I'm hoping this whole thing works out. It looks like it's going to. I have a student actually who lives in France, and she got in touch with me and said that her husband works at a chateau, and he talked with the people that ran the chateau, and they said that our group would be very welcome to come there, and have meditation for 7 days. And the amazing part about it, they said that there won't be any charge. Now, I saw pictures of this place. It's spectacular, It's an hour from Paris. It's right near Versailles. And it's going to be around the 20th of July. And I think it's just kind of an amazing thing. And I'm fairly certain it's going to work out. But they said the only charge would be, and it's almost kind of funny, that if somebody, hands in their sheets to have them laundered, they will charge 15 euros, which is about $16. So if you keep your sheets for 7 days, the total cost of the retreat would be 15 euros. I mean, it's ridiculous, the place is spectacular too. So I'm hoping this works out. It looks like it's going to work out. There are already 17 people that have signed up for it, many of them in Europe and in Israel. If anyone here is interested in doing this, let Jennifer know. She's the one who's keeping tally of all this and will give you all the information that's at her disposal. So that's going to be around the 20th of July. And then my birthday retreat is in August. And if you're interested in the birthday retreat, let us know. I mean, I'm going to do it in my apartment. I'm not going to rent space at Stony Point. It's too difficult. And every time I do that, I get so many people say they're coming, and then 10 people drop out, and it becomes very problematic between myself and Stony Point. So I'm going to do it in my apartment, and there'll be room for 13 people is what we figure. If you're interested in coming to that retreat, you better sign up fairly quickly, because I have a feeling that's going to fill up. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask? I hate to spend time promoting all these things, but, there are things that people have to plan for, and I'm trying to give people plenty of time to plan for them. There's money involved, there's, all kinds of stuff. And again, the retreat in Europe, it's basically free, 15 euros. And of course, people want to make donations to what I'm doing, they're welcome, but there will be no fee or charge for them to come to to that week of meditation classes in France. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask? Does anyone have, look, I keep saying it, the work of this meditation practice is about building a system inside oneself. And the ultimate goal of building that system is to keep one's heart open. God is love. God is joy, happiness. Happy people are enlightened people. And that is the goal. But in order to do this, you understand, the entire chakra system has to be developed. You can't just say, oh, now I'm going to just open my heart. And yeah, you'll open it for 5 minutes. And then the first thought you have, it'll close up again. So the whole practice is about developing that kind of system inside. So that when one takes their samadhi, one leaves the world, they leave and they embrace God. There's nothing left of them to be here anymore. They really have freed themselves of whatever the karma is. And how do you free yourself? It's living with an open heart, love, happiness, and being able to experience that and using that actively in the world through service, through compassion, through, using your life that way. It's the ultimate goal, but it's not just meditating on the heart chakra. That's not going to get you anywhere. You have to really build a system inside. The entire chakra system has to develop, and that will keep the heart open. You have to be grounded inside. The mind has to be quiet. As soon as the mind gets active, the heart just shuts up like a clam. So all of these things work together. And we are the orchestra leader of this chakra ensemble, and we have to do the coordinating, do the work to keep it open. With the ultimate goal, love. God is love. Highest state of human endeavor. Love of mankind, love of God, love of everything in the universe. Now, this might sound like an impossible thing to you, but it's not. We have all the tools, in order to develop that kind of system. We just have to use them consciously. And also, it's what meditation is all about. Learning how to do this. Learning how to stop needing to control other people. Learning how to stop judging other people. Learning to keep your opinions to yourself. Learning how not to be right all the time. And learning how to truly quiet all the chaos that exists inside a human being. Active mind, emotions, sexual energy. When the throat chakra isn't open, our communication is like static on a radio. When that chakra opens, we can communicate with other people using love, compassion, kindness, an array of ways of interacting that truly allow us to make a connection in a profound way with other human beings. The ultimate goal is an open heart. Getting there. It's like the Mirkwood, and all those German and Norse mythologies, all the trolls and creatures that live there that try to block us from getting from one side of the Mirkwood. That's the thing. You understand? We have all of this chaos inside. Tries to keep us from doing one ultimate thing, keeping our hearts open. So we have mind, energy of mind. I don't mean the thinking process. We have breath. We also have a need to have a spiritual life, and we have the will to do it. Put those four ingredients together, you get a pretty fantastic cake. And it's simple. It's not some complicated bullshit full of ritual and this and that and the other and having to eat certain foods. And, it's all bullshit, It's learning to use the tools we are born with and cutting away all the fat. Does anyone have a question they would like to? Love. Very simple.
Stuart, excuse me.
Yes.
I have a question about surrender. Um, it feels like surrender needs to move through my heart, drop down from my mind, move through my heart, and then settle in my hara. Can you talk about that aspect that I'm experiencing, or actually all that you've just spoken of really address that?
Well, look, the meditation exercise that Rudy developed, okay, the first step is you bring your attention in the chakra below the navel, because you got to begin to create and build the foundation inside yourself. The next step is to open the heart, feel gratitude. And when the heart is open, all of that tension in the head, all of the Shakti that flows into us, it can move through the heart center down below the navel and through the sex to the base of the spine. So what you described is the journey of Shakti. It flows through the crown chakra to the third eye, down through the heart, but all of these chakras have to be open. Otherwise, my metaphor has always been it's like when the kitchen sink gets clogged up, the pipes get clogged up, everything comes out the kitchen sink. The kitchen sink is the head, throbbing in the brain, tension in the brain. It's all a part of the heart chakra not being open. It's all a part of us not being centered and grounded inside ourselves. So the flow of energy, it comes down through the crown chakra. It'll go through the third eye, the forehead, through the throat, through the heart. But if the heart isn't open, it all just backs up into the brain. And it creates more tension than any of us need to live with. How do you get the heart chakra open? You gotta have the mind focused below the navel, 2 fingers below the navel. And the hara, the tatien, whatever you want to call it. That rootedness, that chi, that power gives us the strength to open the heart chakra. How do you open the heart chakra? You don't think about it. You don't daydream about it. You don't analyze it. You can't do it. Gratitude, just simple gratitude for one's life will open the heart. And then all of that Shakti, all of that, even the tension, everything can flow down. And what's killing us and really making us crazy begins to give us life. And, look, the universe, God, whatever you want to, that energy is infinite. It is beyond all human comprehension. It flows in a pure way. And all the universe is asking us to do is to build a chakra system to let that energy flow. That's our covenant with God, higher energy, whatever one wants to call that, to build a system inside that enables that higher force of energy to nurture every single part of our being and ultimately give us the strength and the capacity inside to do the final thing in total surrender, which is love, unconditional love.
Thank you.
You're welcome, dear. Does anyone else have a question they would like to? I mean, the process is simple. It's not some complicated, arcane, aspect of spirituality that people, some great mystery in the brain figure. It's all bullshit, There's nothing but try to control people. What I'm talking about gives a person an independent and profound connection with higher energy. People have their own state of enlightenment, their own connection with God. They have learned how to build that kind of system inside. And ultimately, it cannot be figured out. It just has to be done. Does anyone else have a question you would like to ask? Okay, there'll be class tomorrow evening. God bless you all and thank you. And for being in my life, I really have great gratitude to each and every one of you. Bless you. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody, hopefully tomorrow evening. Have a wonderful Easter, Passover, what is it, Kwanzaa, whatever it is, there's a million, Ramadan, it all goes on now. Everybody enjoy it. It's all about the same thing, worshiping God. So bless you, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome.
Good night.
Good night.